Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux and another weekly news roundup. I was trying to get one more domain transferred before I started, but I'm waiting on a backup. Of course, backups take forever. But anyway, I'll just do it after the news, or maybe we'll take a little break in about 10 minutes so I can push the button and migrate a big server. I was just hoping to have it done afterwards, but anyway, I can take care of it later. Oh, that's been my week. I've been transferring client websites all week to a new server. But we're off of CentOS 6 finally. About time. But, yeah, what do you want? All right. Well, let's see how is everybody doing today. Dio Titus. Hello, my name is... Never mind. I won't say that publicly. You can read the comments. Jeffrey, how's it going there? Biden's People of Color Act struck home today as BLM Plaza and the uproar over $4 trillion of Pfizer vaccines are slated overseas instead of in the US. Yeah. I guess black people are too dumb to know how to schedule a vaccine appointment. That's what the going theory is. The reality is, though, is that it's just kind of first come, first serve. They've actually vaccinated a quarter of my county so far. Go. Keep going. We hit that 80% threshold. I'll shut up, you know. I ain't getting jabbed. Let's see. There's a difference between fact and what's being reported. CBS News has just confirmed Pfizer sending shipments today from RDocs. Wow. If Prince Harry has children born in the U.S., can they run for president someday? It depends on the circumstance. Technically, if a person is born on U.S. soil, they're a U.S. citizen. But there is an exception if you happen to be born in a U.S. or in a foreign embassy on U.S. soil, or as being in the U.S. as a foreign government as part of your job or negotiations, then no, in that case. Let's see. Can't seem to find anything on the Signal stuff. Just check the link in the video description here. There's an abundance of it. The one I'm going to pull from, I think I'm pulling from the Forbes article today, which had the best screenshots. Here on YouTube as Trump's pictures covering the actual videos. So we're going bar hopping night. Catch you on the flip side. All right. Trump's pictures covering actual videos. What? Where are you? What's going on? False earthquake was reported today as a man trying to get back together with his old girlfriend ripped a big old fart right on the censoring equipment. Whoa, look at that. It's a big one. You have norovirus. Hey, norovirus. There you go. I don't know which one I'd rather have, COVID or noro. Greetings, Moonbase Alpha Grays. How are you doing? Troy, greetings to you. Since Signal is endorsed and funded by big tech influencers, Jack Dorsey, Brian Acton, and Elon Musk, I don't trust it one bit. Rather use talks. Yeah, there you go. We'll have to look at this and see what the data actually shows and is this a trustable system or not. I actually dropped Signal about the time they were forcing people to use pins because we're going to secure your contacts in our cloud. No, you ain't. I just haven't put it back on yet. Now, the biggest concern I have with Signal out of the gate is the fact that you jump on Signal and it pings everybody that happens to have your phone number, which means if you have a stalker and they just haven't deleted your phone number from their address book because, you know, they're a stalker, then ping the person you're stalking is now on Signal. They need to stop that right now. They're going to sit there and say, we're for privacy. Then stop telling the whole world somebody's joined your platform. There's a thought. And there's some of the reasons I'm not on Signal. But I also don't really send text messages at all. A couple memes and a couple telling people when my door's open or there's a check sitting at the door. Am I guilty if I have nothing to hide? I just don't use texting. Texting annoys me. Quantum of Conscience. He has cats too. That's right. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings. Talks is the communication platform on Tor. I know that much about it. I don't really know anything else about it. Backtracks take a while, but they're worth it. Yeah, well, this is server migration backup. So to port a server, I need to back up a system of the server on the platform, and then what it does is it just grabs that backup remotely and then reinstalls from itself. So different type of backup we're talking about. Hello, Benzito. How's it going there? The gray supremacists are online. No, they're not supremacists. The reptilian alien supremacists. I am the reptilian alien. We are the supreme ones. The grays, they're just grays. We actually have the ability to, you know, change our colors, go invisible, stuff like that. I know the gray did in Paul. That was Hollywoodized, you know. Thought they were born in a hospital, not on soil. Isn't that insanity? That's right. They do. They do. Vote CJ for president. Yeah, he'd probably do a better job than who we got right now. That's for sure. Back from surgery. Didn't know about L4 and 5 going bad. L4, L5 going bad. What's L4 and L5? Am I that much out of it? Or is it something my brain's just not caught up with the rest of reality yet? All right, got here in time. Linux has 1% market share on Mars. What say you? That's right. That's right. First was WaterFox, now it's Signal. Grr, that's right. That's right. I'm still like, we'll see what's going on with Signal. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily like, wow, guys, everyone has to drop Signal now. I don't think that's what we're seeing, but we'll look at it and you make up your own mind. Still need about 2 to 3 months of rehab to get back to walking again. Let's see. Hello, over on Discord, Strawberry Shortcake. Hello, not Gary, says hi. Solboo. And again, Tom scared me with the live stream live. That's my task. At least California, San Francisco, it isn't snowing. There you go. Just released list admin version 2.72, terminal utility to manage mailman lists. Looking to invest in a single GPU pass-through. Okay. And let's see, State Department archive stuff. All right. Signal devs are obnoxious and overzealous. They are right on everything, as you, if you see what I mean. Yeah, I read a lot of things. I had some people send me some things like, don't trust Signal. There's a lot of weird backdoor stuff going on here. And there's some interesting, compelling things. So I don't know exactly what to say on that. Know about all the criticism to the dev level. And if they did not have the first idea, they declined. Let's see. Linux does not have 1% market share on Mars. VxWorks and other operating systems. No, it doesn't. Our system runs everything on Mars. We've actually forbidden everything but Linux on Mars. And we run governments better than they do here on the planet. So, you know. All right, let's see. I had to do labs today for college Linux class on a system running Ubuntu 12.04. That's not even supported. Why? Like, this is why I don't advocate going to college. I'm going to go to college for Linux stuff. Why are you using an out-of-support Linux distro? Oh, lordy. I guess, I don't know. Isn't that still good and like now, or did that expire? I thought 12.04 definitely expired. I think 16 is on the verge of expiring. Edward Snowden said, I use Signal and I'm still alive. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if there's much better options than that. I don't know. Mars is the only planet inhabited solely by robots. No, it's not inhabited solely by robots. Oh, actually, I know what that is. That meme, that was a disinformation campaign that our alien race put out on Mars. That's right. All right, guys, before I divulge all of the alien secrets, I do think that we have to get into our news. I don't want to expose any more secrets that I'm not supposed to. Probably a shorter show today, honestly. We only have a couple of, really, we have about 5 privacy, 3 security, about 6 business, and 3 silly. That's all we have today. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the privacy edition, followed up with just a tad of security toward the end. And these are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to come on and catch the show live in all of the madness and engaging in the comments, that would be epic. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. We have a couple of updates. Update number 1, Google resumes updating with its major iPhone and iPad apps, starting with YouTube. Now, I checked out about 15 different articles, and I was not able to find the nutrition privacy or privacy nutrition, whatever Apple's calling these things, you'd think, okay, this is a big deal. We got our first updated app. Would somebody please show me the things that Google is asking for? Maybe some of you guys out watching can tell me where to find this, because I looked all over. It's like, yay, we now have the updated apps that will tell us what permissions it's seeking. And nobody's telling me this. This is what is wrong with modern day journalism. This is why we really can't trust anything out there except maybe some guy who was in the ground, on the ground actually watching stuff. But they finally issued an update for YouTube with the generic fixed bugs, improved performance, and drank way too much coffee. This is a huge criticism I have and why I rarely update apps. I mean, mostly I don't use them. But the point is, if you're going to go through and force an update on me, tell me everything that changed. This type of stuff is why I just nuked apps and just don't use apps on my phone. I don't need to see fixed bugs, improved performance, and drank too much coffee. What are you, 2 years old? Grow up. Grow up. Tell us what you're doing differently. Tell me why I need to install this thing. Say, hey, there was a hack in here that allowed some Chinese dude to take over your phone if you watched a certain TikTok video. Better update to prevent that. Hey, I'm all over it. But performance enhancements, and then nobody's giving me access to this. What in the world is going on in our world? So there we have our update. Too bad I can't show you the nutrition card, what the YouTube app is looking for. And for everybody that keeps on sending me emails and comments, get on Odyssey. No, I jumped for that dumpster fire, guys. I know you may not have followed my channel for that long, but about last year, about this time, I tried out Odyssey. It was library at the time, and it is a dumpster fire. I'm sure it might have gotten better, and maybe in about 6 months I will investigate it again, but you can search on my channel for my library video, why I left. I'm not jumping onto library. As of right now, you can catch my videos also on Rumble and on BitChute, both at switchedtolinux, and I will look into some other platforms. The privacy guys I've been chatting with, we've been having a lot of background conversations lately, and they're like, check out PeerTube, so I think I'll probably check that one out soon too. But no, I'm not going to jump on Odyssey or library again anytime soon. Eventually I might reinvestigate it, see if they fixed the problems and concerns I had before. But if you don't like the YouTube, I am also on BitChute and on Rumble. You can check out the videos over there. Rumble videos get posted the exact same time as YouTube. BitChute sometimes are a couple days behind. Anyway, back to the news. 66% of the 15 mobile apps come from Facebook and Google. This is why there's a big concern about the monopolies inside the app market and things like that. So tech giants tightening up their grip on the app market. You can see in 2005, 33% owned by Google, 20% owned by Facebook, and then 47%. And then those numbers are creeping out. It looks more like Facebook's just, they just haven't acquired anything for a while. Like, guys, we need to increase the number of popular apps. We got to find something else to buy. I mean, let's look at these other 34% and see what we can buy to move and shift our numbers. But Google just keeps on building and building and building new things. So there we have it, guys. We have it. And so they looked at the top 15 apps in the US as of this month are YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, Google Maps, Google Search, Facebook Messenger, Amazon, Weather Channel, Google Play, Instagram, Apple News, Google Drive, Google Photos, Pandora, and Spotify. And so for sure, a lot of those are Google and Facebook apps. And why are those there? Well, sometimes there are not a lot of other alternatives. In the Android world, particularly the open source Android world, there's very few good map applications. I use OSM and it really sucks. But I don't use my phone for navigation either. If you need your phone for navigation, invest yourself in a $100 car GPS. It costs about 1/10 of the percent of the cost of most of your phones anyway, and it's infinitely better, and that's what it's designed for. So there you go. If you go off into the middle of the woods somewhere, you don't lose your data connection, your phone says, I haven't a clue where the hell I am. And so make sure you're getting car GPSs rather than relying on that crap. So more Facebook stuff. After the failure of the Facebook phone, get ready for the Facebook Watch. This was like the only worthy smart news article, so I threw it into privacy because it's Facebook. And now they want to know every biometric thing about your body. People, do not use the Facebook watch. Don't get it. If you see one in wild, rip it off somebody's hand and destroy it. No, don't do that. You'll get in trouble for doing that. But the point is, don't get this thing. They're wanting to compete with Apple and Fitbit / Google. And they're looking at all this data. Here, I guess here's some watch data here. And I guess Apple makes up 51% of the market. That's weird. We have Garmin's, we have Huawei's, Samsung, whatever that thing is. Amazfit. Is that an Amazon thing? I've not heard of that one. We have Fitbit, we have Fossil, and I'm not sure what this 11% is here. Maybe that's other. And so they're like, hey, let's just carve ourselves a little chunk out here and just collect everybody's biometric data and just supplement all of the evil stuff that we're already doing with Facebook data, attaching your complete biometrics to everything else that we do, because that's crazy. Guys, Facebook is the one uncompromising company. Like, I'll do some things with Google. I'll do some things with Microsoft. Unfortunately, Facebook, nope, hard no, nope. Kind of harmful sometimes. Facebook is still big in the author and writing communities I'm part of. I know somebody I was asked to do a blog post in the writing circles I'm in for one of our organizations. They're like, I haven't seen you on the Facebook page. I'm like, yeah, uncompromisingly, I will not be on your Facebook page. And I don't encourage you to be on there either. All right. This one was a big one today, this week. Browser favicons can be used as undeletable super cookies to track you online. Now, I'm not sure about, let's go ahead and talk about how this works. I kind of had to stare at this for a while, and actually I downloaded this research paper to read that to figure out what's going on. So what the theory is, this would be hard to do, and no small site's going to do this, but a large site might. What they're going to do is, when you go and visit a site, you got your little favicon, the cute little icon that tells you what it is. Well, those are actually stored in a different cache location as other things on your browser. You can force refresh the browser and get the favicon back, but this method here, it utilizes a series of folders, and in all the documentation is like there's 4. I'm like, how does this work? Well, if you automate this and into releasing a favicon that's a digital code from a database, you can literally put hundreds of thousands of these on a site. And then what you do is you can measure the time and the way that a favicon is downloaded by first checking the first directory, and if it's there, it goes to the next, and then goes to the next, and then it will do basically it'll build an algorithm of what your download and browser data looks like, and it's able then to track you around the internet. There is actually a way around it. It's not deleting your cache, but your browsers store all those favicons in an SQL file or in some other separate it's called the F cache. If you actually have a good means, and here on Linux, you could set a cron job to clear that F cache every 15 minutes. You will be invisible with this here. So these guys are, it's this undetectable invisible thing. No, you just need to clear that the F cache, which is not something that clearing the regular browser cache does, but you can actually do it. If you clear that out, you will always look like a first-time visitor, and they will not be able to track you around the internet. But nevertheless, it is an interesting technique that is a little bit more complicated, and hopefully the big browsers, like all 2 of them that are left, will actually go back and say, yeah, let's go and change how the Fcache works to mitigate for this type of thing. But being as that Google controls this and they want to collect data, I'm not exactly holding my breath. And Firefox will be like, that's racist to do that, because that's how woke Fox goes. And so there we have it. We're all screwed. So maybe we'll go ahead and look at how to write a cron job to clear that F cache out on a regular basis. There we go, guys. And the next article, former FBI officials are being tapped for Amazon's growing security apparatus. This doesn't surprise me all that much. Big business oftentimes does hire ex-FBI, ex-CIA, ex-whatever for security professionals and things like that. The difference here is that they're not actually hiring these guys to be like security guards or advanced security. They're hiring them as part of security product divisions. So heuristically analyzing data and a lot of other things like this, that's the type of stuff that they're looking at doing. And so this article here from The Intercept, it's just kind of going through and talking about how Amazon was hiring people. Then they put out some job calls looking for such things and stuff like that. And then what ended up happening from there is they went ahead and hid some of those and then started bringing in more FBI agents. So they said by the bottom, they end up having, quite a number of FBI guys. Not a whole lot significant. The biggest concern here is the fact that they're not hiring these as security. They're actually hiring FBI agents as a means to, they're hiring the FBI agents as a means to do products like the Ring and other stuff like that that has connections to law enforcement. That's where that kind of ties into privacy. And speaking of the FBI, onto our feature story today from Forbes. Can the FBI hack into private Signal messages on a locked iPhone? The evidence indicates yes. So this isn't like they have some back door into Signal and they can grab your messages out of the air. This dates back to a case where a guy they were involved in drugs and guns and stuff like that. And inside of these court documents, we actually had some messages from Signal. And you can see here that the source is the extraction, and there's the encrypted files. And they basically said that they got these encrypted files off of what they called a partial AFU. So this is AFU on the iPhone is after first use. So your phone has, to my understanding, 4 states to it, and I'm not going to be able to tell you what all those states are, but there's a BFU before first use, there's an AFU after first use, and then there's 2 other conditions about how long the screen has been turned off and other factors like that. And so the partial AFU, the security research is going, I don't know idea what they're talking about. I think what partial AFU means in this case is they were able to grab a partial data dump of the data off the phone. So this means that they had the phone involved in a crime. It had already been unlocked with a pass key, but the screen was turned off. So they were able to extract some data. Now, the more concerning thing is that they were able to decrypt these messages. That is where the potential of the Signal FBI backdoor might be at. And that is certainly a concerning thing to think about, that all they had to do is grab this blob off of the phone and then they were able to decrypt these. The question is how? If Signal's encryption is so good, the FBI could have extracted the data and said, we can't read what's going on here because we don't have the encryption key. So maybe there is indeed a connection with Signal and the FBI to decrypt the messages. The point is they were able to get the data off of the phone because it had previously been unlocked with a passcode. If on the new iPhones, and Android had one of these modes as well, you see the law enforcement coming and you hit the certain sequence, which on the iPhone I think now is hitting the power button, is it 5 or 6 times? And Android, there's another one as well. Then it will return the phone to a before first use state, and it makes extracting the data infinitely harder, if not impossible. And that will require the passkey. So that's really what's going on here. And this raises some questions because, one of the things we need to consider is that Signal provides the encryption for WhatsApp. A Facebook company. And there's been a lot of talk back and forth, a lot of conjecture that Signal is funded. In fact, they say, well, Signal was funded by government. Well, Tor was also funded by the government, and the government still has no idea how to break into that thing. The best you can do on Tor is controlling the entry and the exit node and make good logical guesses about the node in the middle. And so just because the government funded the project doesn't make me go, ooh, it's got a backdoor in it. I want to see some other things. But the fact they were able to extract encrypted data from an AFU iPhone and then decrypt the data, that does indeed raise some questions about what they have in Signal. So with that, if you want to help support the channel, have a look at our affiliates. Today we are talking about ExpressVPN. Ooh, let me get my head out of the way. All right. ExpressVPN, this is one of the better VPNs that we have. And you can connect up to 5 devices, including a router. You can secure your entire home network with one connection on your router if you so desire. You can also set certain devices to bypass the VPN if you need to as well. And we have locations all around the world. You can go ahead and set the geolocation that you would like your IP address to come from. I did actually, somebody did leave me a comment that I think Cox Internet is starting to block some VPNs. So be aware of that. But nevertheless, have a look over here. Use my affiliate link there, tlm.li/EV. And that will get you over onto our page. You can try this guy out for $100 for a year of VPN service. Well, let's go ahead and have a brief look at some security news as well. Alrighty, let's do that. Where's my security? Alrighty, let's see. I said about signals encryption a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's what Quantum's telling us the same thing. Oh, there's Zuck Marks. It's Marks Zuckerberg. Come on, Kay, you got to label that picture right. It's Marks Zuckerberg. Come on. Oh, and I'm getting some pictures of some smartwatches over here. Let's see. GeoCities had a watch. Whoa. All right, let's check our comments in over here. Receiving some weird signals. There you go. Building your own Jitsi server the only option. You can use Jitsi. I think it's like I think it's jit.si. I think. I think that's what it is. I can't remember the exact link, or maybe it's meet.jit. I don't forget. Just do an internet search for Jitsi on something other than Google, preferably, and you'll see. But yeah, you can also build your own Jitsi server as well. If you use my affiliate link for Linode, tlm.li/Linode, there is a community script, one button, click it, boom, you have a Jitsi server. And I think that's $5 a month. So there we have it. Steve's very own. How's it going there, Steve's very own? Greetings. Little friend from across the pond. All right. We're not across the pond. You're just across the border. Let's see. I've always asked them that. Every Linux distro we use, whether it's desktop or server, is from 2012. That's because the instructor doesn't know anything about Linux, and all of the classroom course material is all designed for that, and nobody wants to go back through and rewrite the curriculum. I mean, it's still less than 10 years old, so it's up to date, right? Not a calm guy at work today. I mean, Steve was present. Hey, Sleepy Eyes Vince, you want to go back to Mars and kick the tires on the new rover? All right, very cool. Yeah, we actually have a mothership going there too. We can send it down under if you need a ride out too. If you're not going that way, Moonbase. I'm not going to Mars, but we do have a ship going to Mars tomorrow. So, my client, here's how I'd handle it. Let's see. Try and find the code on my iPhone at the segment. Got mixed signals from the wife every day. It's reverse psychology. There you go. Just first turn off the patch policy, run a manual, and once your request. There you go. Best bring my code. I hear it's cold on Mars. Yeah, a little bit. Delete library 2, bugs and update installers wouldn't update Ubuntu. All right. Pick up some team members today. Calm Steve wasn't working anyway. Great catching you. Have to go get the sun. Well, see you later, Steve. I'm sure you're gone by now, though. How's it? Tom has started using his own Trump-style messenger service. Sign up now. See the ad on Discord. Ooh, there you go. Yeah. We're calling it the Trumpet. Top 15 apps, I bet $20,000 are pre-installed and pushed using algorithms, probably. Sorry, I blacked out for a minute. I hope I didn't comment anything weird about big corporations. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and Amazon are all PR companies that will be our saviors. All hail them. Yeah, you blacked out a bit there, I think, man. Did somebody know that core control is only available from Ubuntu 20 onwards? Interesting. Facebook watch to advertisers. Do you want user data? Sit on my Facebook and tell me that you love me. Let's tweak grub, and then you have the same convenience as folks on Windows. Tweaking the clock settings or graphics card. All right. FBI, need to hire FBI. Did I say FBI need to hire FBI? Amazon's hiring the FBI. Wow, if I said that wrong, that whole article's going to be screwed up. It should be Amazon. Let's see. It's in the hide. You shouldn't have hidden it, should you? Not satisfied with what you're being put through. Copy and paste didn't work out too well. Rob Braxman has been saying for a couple weeks now that he is seeing backbone level blocking of VPN ports. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Meet.jit.si. Thank you, Sleepy. So you have an app on iPhone, but not Android. Signal works as WhatsApp. Right there seems compromised. Yeah, Signal provides the encryption for WhatsApp. Book me a ticket. Well, I need to quarantine. No, you do not need to quarantine on Mars. Actually suggested I buy a smartphone so I can use WhatsApp. I bet you laughed in their face. Elon recommending Signal is not a compromising. I wouldn't trust Elon one way or the other, compromised or not. Elon just runs his mouth, you know. Tour bus on Mars operated by Elvis and Tupac. No, he's not on Mars. They're on Jupiter. They stopped on Mars. They drove one bus, but Elvis and Tupac are both on Jupiter. You got to get it right. Let's see. All right. We got security. First in security, prosecutor charges former phone company employee in SIM swap scheme. Once again, guys, this is why I don't like to give any data at all. Only the minimum amount I need to do the service. Why? Even if the company's got the greatest privacy policy in the world, they might have a creepy guy. But would you rather have the creepy guy watching you on your security cameras in ADT, or would you rather have them selling the hackers your SIM cards? So this guy was actually paid about $2,000. He got gypped. $2,000 between October and November in 2018. And basically, the guy was giving him a few targeted phone numbers that he wanted, and he knew that these people were securing Bitcoin wallets with a phone number. So the hacker paid a few $1,000s to the, I believe this might have been AT&T, I think. Whoever it was, I forget the exact cell carrier, but he paid the cell carrier to get him access. So the cell carrier then would mail the guy a new SIM card with the password and the phone number. The guy would just pop that guy in, update the phone number, and then he was able to break into the cryptocurrency wallets. Now, he targeted specific people that he knew had a lot of access to cryptocurrencies. And so that's kind of how this one went. So just yet another requirement there that even if the company is the best company in the world, if they have your data, the question is, can you trust the employees with that data as well? Microsoft Edge Extension Store is the dumpster fire that Microsoft stores have always been. It's like, I had a Windows phone way back in the day. I actually had a Windows phone. I thought the UI was one of the best. But you get into the store, and I don't think there was any American developer on that thing. It was like all Chinese backdoors, and it was poorly written apps and stuff like that. Are we surprised to see anything else in Microsoft's Edge Extension Store? It's hosting illicit copies of Sonic and Mario Kart 64. I wonder if that's the one Biden was playing with his granddaughter, right? He played Luigi with his granddaughter. I mean, that's the type of fluff stuff they write about him, you know. But anyway, Microsoft Edge Extension Store was hosting likely illegal copies of a number of iconic games, including Mario Kart, Super Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog, Pac-Man, Tetris, Cut the Rope, even Microsoft smash hit Minecraft. Developers listed on the titles weren't Microsoft, Nintendo, or any other recognized game developer, meaning that they almost certainly aren't official copies of the game. So there we have it, guys. You get your brand new Edge, you're like, let's find some extensions, and they're pretty much all malware. So be careful of that, guys. Yeah, I really bet here that Nukes is the official developer of Super Mario Brothers. I really bet that. Game Triangle. With this extension, you can play Sonic the Hedgehog directly from your Edge browser. All you have to do is add the Sonic Hedgehog, click on the icon at the top of your browser and open it up and have endless fun. Yay! There we are. So there we have it, guys. There we have it. Just got to be careful with that. I bet that those are completely full of malware, so have fun. And finally, the Apple M1 Mac is brand stinking new, and it got, a good 3 chapters into the world, and then all hell broke loose and malware entered into it. So we do have our official native M1 malware, and this is GoSearch22. This is one that evades detection attempts, hides itself, reinstalls itself, and gives you endless fun of clicking closed ads that will appear all over your computer. So just be aware of that, guys. We already have malware showing up in the brand new Macs. Is that a reason that they suck? No, of course not. Hey, if we only have one so far, that's better than any other operating system so far. Just be aware it exists, so take appropriate steps. If you'd like to help support the channel, I do have a Subscribestar page, subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. You can head on over there and help support the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Alrighty, we got business next. Let's see, what's better than Signal? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I use Silence is the one I'm using. Wire, I hear, is good. Amazon could save millions by having Jehovah's Witnesses deliver the packages. Here's your package. By the way, would you like a watchtower? Multimillionaire guy saying use Signal sounds suspicious to me. I don't know. Q and Fee and greetings. Nah, Tupac is in the hollow of the earth. Oh, did he move back here? Sasquatch on Mars? No, he's not on. Sasquatch is not on Mars. Rather have a creepy guy watching me than selling my data. Okay, all right, there you go. All right, so there we have it. There's one person speaking up. Hey, you could like hold up a sign and go like, all right, guys, we're gonna do something bad tonight, so send me the royalty checks. All right. Seems to me you cannot trust these anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Played Super Mario from 1984. Those were the days. Obscurity is not security. That is correct. Mac OS safe in terms of privacy. If you're not going to run Linux, then Mac is better than Windows. If you have to run one normie system and you can function with the Mac UI, I can't function with the Mac UI. I'll use Windows over Mac. That's just a personal preference of the UI. But Mac is actually better in terms of privacy. I would say that Mac is going to be better than Windows. I use Element, not Silence. I use Element on my Arch computer. So I use Element as like my Skype replacement. On the phone for text messaging, I use Silence. All right, let's jump over to Corporateocracy. And what's my affiliate today? Oh. No, not that. Oh, yeah, that is that. All right, I think we're good. This banner is screwed up, though. Hold on a second. I got to figure out why this banner is a little screwed up. I have no earthly idea. There's something screwed up about this banner. Let's look at... No, there's no filters on it. Oh, well, we'll just deal with the banner being a little bit messed up. Let me do that. Yeah, I don't know. Let's deal with the banner being a little bit messed up. I'm okay with that. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I just need to rebuild it. Oh, well. Anyway, let's get started. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition, followed by a little bit of Sillyville near the end. And I'm not sure why I'm still on my Subscribestar page, but I do have a Subscribestar page /switchedtolinux. Anyway, wow. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch more bloopers than that if you catch the show. But anyway. First, we're going to go ahead and start in with an update. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about the 90-year-old who took out a full-page newspaper ad of the New York Times and the Dallas, whatever the big newspaper is in Dallas, complaining that here in America, for paying as much as he's paying for internet, he should certainly do better than a simple, small, crappy, almost broken DSL. And AT&T rushes to install fiber after the 90-year-old whined and complained. This is why, if you think I'm whining and complaining too much, this is why I whine and complain. Stuff gets done. Guys, I brought up the security concerns with Zorin, me and among other people. Zorin changed their data collection policies. Few other systems like that. We need to bring light to these. And that's what this guy did. And hey, now he's got fiber. He paid $10,000 for quarter-page ads in Wall Street Journal and got the internet service that he wanted. So there we have it, guys. We covered that article a few weeks ago. We're not going to cover it again here, but it worked. It worked. He ended up getting fiber installed in North Hollywood. Hollywood did not have fiber, people. Hollywood. House Republicans propose a nationwide ban on municipal broadband networks. Now, I looked at this article first. I said, ours is a left-wing leaning rag. It's like garbage. And so I'm like, there's got to be more than this. These guys are so left-wing, they're not even seeing the positive. So I actually went and got a whole copy of the bill. Ours is completely right. The Republicans have lost their ever-loving mind. See, there's a lot of red tape if you want to move into an area, into an ISP. There is so much red tape. Google abandoned trying to get their Google Fiber in several cities because there's so much red tape. Because the big corporate ISPs, the Time Warner, the Comcast, these guys hold such a monopoly in their areas that it is unmistakable. So the House Republicans they propose a bill that is basically, I looked at this and said, I bet that what they're doing is they're making it easier for competition because they want competition. They don't want the government to create ISPs because that'll stifle competition. Nope. They've lost their ever-living mind. They've gone full retard mode. They're basically just saying a government cannot create an ISP. They're not clearing any of the red tape. So if you want to start a competing ISP as a company, good luck. You're in competition with Comcast, Time Warner Cable, and millions of dollars of setting up infrastructure before you can do anything. This bill is horribly detrimental to the state of the internet in America, and the state of the internet in America is already horrible. We're like the worst in the internet. Why? Because we're not utilizing the monopoly laws that we have. We have a monopoly. I have exactly one option for internet where I am, which is why I pay over $100 a month for internet that's only 100 up in it's like 10 up in like 100 down. It might be 200 down. I don't know. I don't need 200 down. Like 50 down is perfectly fine. Just give me enough up so I can live stream. Our internet is abysmal. We have a monopoly, and I'm in the 4th largest city in my state. That is how bad the internet is here in America. And this law is going to make it worse. Republicans, go back to the business with. Of course, they have to call it the Connect Act. Communities over-regulating networks need economic competition today. Okay, morons, let me tell you how to do this, you stupid Republicans in office. Let me tell you how you do it. You pass some laws allowing real competition. You allow for other small ISPs to come in and compete with Comcast. You tell them you can't have a giant monopoly. You get over the boundary that costs millions of dollars to add internet to 500 houses in a small town. That's how you do it. The reason the governments and the cities are wanting the governments to create ISPs is because you've created too much red tape. Cut through the red tape. I know, you're red. It's red tape. You don't like cutting red. You got to cut the red. That's what you got to do. So I was totally disappointed seeing that bill. One thing, governments can't do that. Boy. Well, Nissan apparently was in deals to work with Apple on a smart car, but they walked away because they, quote, "I don't want to be the Foxconn of cars." In other words, we do not want them to start telling us what to do. And Apple is getting scary, guys. This is a neat one. It didn't make the news. It was actually just released just a few hours ago, so I didn't include it in the news here, but it's relevant to right here. This is how abusive Apple is. In Apple's fight with Epic, they want to know how many game sales there are. So what did they do? They just went and subpoenaed Steam's sales data. Steam's sitting here going, what the hell do we have to do with any of this crap? They're literally trying to get Steam sales data so they can know about how many video games do people buy in the whole wide world, apparently. Because Apple's gotten so big, they can go into a big car manufacturer like Nissan and say, no, you're going to change this. It's the same thing Walmart does. No, we're only going to pay you half the amount that you want for your product. But if you don't take it, we're just going to take your product and manufacture our own with cheap Chinese labor. You know, we'll send the Islams and the children to work camps in China and manufacture it for about 5 pennies in a loaf of bread for the day. And then we'll ship that back across the season. We're going to undercut you and put that in every store. So, yeah, you're going to accept our half or not? Yeah, that's what Apple is doing. That's what Walmart's doing. So these are the types of things. And that's why that car deal happened to go a little bit south. And there is a thriving fake review industry gaming the Amazon marketplace. Of course, most of us were kind of aware of this, but yeah, this is the type of stuff we're seeing. So this company, what these guys did is they created their own, this one group created their own fake Amazon store just to get all the solicitations from all the people doing fake reviews. So with that, they found, let's see, December 2020, we signed up to 10 sites offering review manipulation services, including free or discounted products in exchange for reviews or sales campaigns for sellers to boost their positive reviews. We found 702,000 product reviewers across just 5 businesses. One site claimed to have processed $8.9 million of refunds for reviews. It has organized on Amazon. Not sure what they're doing. They've processed the many refunds? I don't quite get what that is. Review campaigns claiming to be able to achieve Amazon's choice status on products in just 10 to 14 days. One site selling contact and social media details for Amazon reviewers. Also quizzed review businesses on tactics they employ and to stay above their checks. So they're all kind of working on this, so you can sign up for your good deal. 50 reviews for 700 euros, 100 reviews for 1,200, so you can go all the way on up to 1,000 reviews. Or do you want to be flexible? One review just costs £15 per review, baby. Oh yeah, there we have it. So here's how to secure it. So yeah, when you go in, like, this is really bad because product reviews are a useful thing to figure out what's what. Now, if you're a savvy buyer, you can read a product review and get an idea of what's going on with it. That's for sure. But sometimes it's hard to guess. And just because it's Amazon's choice doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. And I've encountered some things like that, although I've had pretty good luck on things on Amazon. But nevertheless, we can kind of see, here's some fake review tactics to avoid detection. Choose a product, buy on Amazon, then write a review. We'll send a full price rebate to your PayPal after writing a review. So these are kind of what they're doing. And prohibited to return a product after receiving the rebate. Only review with sign verified purchase is acceptable. Yeah, even that though, there's ways around that. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. The future of Windows 10 updates. We have a couple of Windows 10 updates before our final article here. So the future of Windows 10 updates will reportedly add a floating start menu in rounded corners. So basically they want to turn Windows into a Mac based on this picture. Mac-esque type thing. I think that's a horrible idea. Keep it the way it is. The reason Windows itself is good is because it's very useful. Like this to me is more useful than this. Maybe you're different. I get it. Although I don't see this being useful at all. I see this being annoying. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that useful or annoying? Are you looking for the round corners and the floating start menus? Oh, here's the floating. Okay, I guess you can put the start menu on the left, on the center, presumably on the right as well. So hey, you can probably make it pop up out of the upper left of the screen if you want it to be run like Ubuntu. There you go. So that might actually be the best way to run it, throwing it up there, honestly. So there we have it, guys. Let me know if you're into that. Of course, we have a Microsoft Office 2021 is on the way, and finally they get a dark mode. LibreOffice, FYI, has had this for a long time, but finally they do have a dark mode, and they are still keeping with the ability to purchase your one-off license without the subscription model. They also are now getting an LTS type model, which costs 10% more. And the LTS model is going to have a few other little odds and ends in there as well. And so those are a couple of things to keep in mind there. So overall, though, not a whole lot there. The purpose of the LTS is, again, targeting businesses that don't want to use the cloud services but need to keep more stable for a longer period of time. So there we have it. But you can still purchase your standalone Microsoft Office if you want to. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but I guess you should. Anyway, no, you should. You could. I meant to say. Ugh. I don't even know how to use Word anymore. Is that scary? People are like, how do you do this? I don't know. Don't ask. I don't know. And on to our final news. We have this came from down under, abc.net.au. So Facebook decided to go ahead and drop a nuke on Australian news. It kind of backfired, though. It's like you're playing Civilization, right? You got a nuke going. You're going to send a nuke on over and nuke Moscow, baby. And they have SDI, and your nuke failed. Yeah, that's kind of what happened here. So as part of this spat between the government telling Facebook you need to pay for this, Facebook's just like, fine, guess what we can do? We're just going to shut off news and y'all won't get any news. And so they basically blocked all news from being able to be shared across anything connected to an Australian Facebook account. So you can't share news with your buddies in Facebook. And then you can't even share news outside your country or into the country if one of you is in or connected to Australia. So anything in Australia, and Facebook's like, watch how long before they coming back. What they didn't plan on is, as of today, the ABC app for the smartphones went to the top of the app stores. And so apparently everyone's like, hey, being on Facebook is bad for my mental health. They just went ahead and downloaded the app directly, and they're getting there like, breath of fresh air. I can actually get some news without any of the nonsense surrounding Facebook. Maybe this is a good thing, and people will abandon social media and start moving back to original sources. So really, they wanted to show that if we just cut you off, you're going to be crying back to us because nobody's viewing your content. No, it turned out that people maybe were on Facebook to get the content. You kicked them off the content, so now they can actually get the content directly from the app. Not well thought out, but anyway, that's how it happened. So it's kind of a, y'all tried, y'all failed. All right. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, I do have a science fiction novel if you are into that. This is my book, Synaptergy. And in Synaptergy here, you can go ahead and grab a copy of this guy. It's synaptergy.com or tlm.li/s. And you can come on over here, read the first chapter. For those of you guys looking for when's part 2 coming out, sorry guys, I haven't started it yet. Mostly it's the book I'm working on right now. We're doing a lot of editorial things and stuff like that. But you can head on over here. You can, if you go ahead and allow SoundCloud to load, you can listen to the first 5 minutes of the book. You can read chapter 1, and the where to buy has a variety of different places where you can pick the book up from. So have a look over that at synaptergy.com. Let's head on over to Sillyville next. All right, people keep on texting me. I need to see what's going on. Look at a cat for a second. Yeah, you. Apparently people are emailing or texting me memes. Okay. But it was a very good one. It was I think it was like an empty church and an overcrowded plane. You're allowed to fly. You're not allowed to go to church. Go figure that one out. All right. Well, oh boy, what are we getting? What do you just give me animated stuff over here? I use dark mode in my documents and I approve of their decision. There you go. Exhausted from work, but also no dark mode on the document itself is wrong. Let's see, dark mode for office software. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think typing the actual document out could be a little annoying. I get that, but yeah. I hope we don't get to the point where multiple masks in Corona season. Well, the CDC is sort of recommending 2 masks right now, because they had 2 dummies, like literal dummies, not the actual quasi-scientists that might actually be attempting to do something over there. But they literally put masks on mannequins and determined that 2 masks is better than 1. I read the article. Didn't make any sense. Very interesting. The benefit of the CDC is they don't have to peer review their work. Repeat after me. Obscurity is not security. Don't care. An M1 virus will still give me better battery life than the Intel one. That's right. Paint something that would cause copyright strike on my roof for Google Maps. Nice. Intel was a virus. There you go. What are some good channels in Element that you like? I don't really do a lot of things on Element. Like, I don't go around and hang out on a bunch of channels. There's a couple privacy groups, but those are all private, that were set up to collaborate on some privacy projects we're working on. Other than that, I pretty much am using Element right now as a replacement for Skype. So I don't spend time. I mean, if you follow around my Discord server, I pop in there less often than I should. It's on all day. I have better things to do than stare at a screen and type and interact in that way. So, let's see. Wouldn't be so sorry. Be so to worry about Signal. A few weeks ago, big newspaper said the same as Signal that was hacked, but the problem was the security on the phone itself. Forward to Beeper, all normie chat systems in one, including iMessage. They claim it's all encrypted and safe. I think that's the one I looked at not too long ago, right? Intel Management Engine disabled on a laptop without doing anything. I'll install an application and check if it's enabled or disabled. And it was disabled. Hollywood is not up to date as we want to believe. Yeah, CenturyLink lowers their DSL speeds and nearly doubles the price. Yep. Signal's encryption at that time, and what you said, it could be the same again. Having unblocked or brute force phone erases any encryption. Yeah, government isn't bright enough to create an ISP. Now, actually, I disagree. There's actually several government-run ISPs that actually are way better than dealing with Comcast. Snowden uses it and it's still not dead. That says something, but we should be waiting for more research on it. Maybe it's bad played ads, so people become afraid. Yeah, I mean, who knows? That's a distinct possibility too, you know? Government built the pipes, ISPs resell the access. I can choose from about a dozen ISPs. Yeah, we don't have any. Did Nissan get a new logo? I don't know. Caliber Canon was used to get rid of the Apple. HP does not want to take BIOS settings out of the key combo. Proc reviews have been rigged for years. Amazon sucks. Can I make it look like Windows 7 again? Probably not. FBI agents had some Signal messages in a court case. So apparently they were able to extract Signal messages from the phone and manage to decrypt them. LibreOffice has a dark mode. Hold my beer. Yeah, it does. I use dark mode on my writing computer, actually. But MS Office why but MS Office when LibreOffice has the same functionality, although I may have to use MS Office for school? Yeah, it depends, you know. There you may be able to get around with it. It depends. If all you need to do is hand in your paper, your research paper from Microsoft Office, no, just export, just don't give them an ODT file. Give them just export from LibreOffice into docx. And the new version of LibreOffice actually does a really good job of exporting docx files. Let's see. There's a 10 kangaroo pileup. Why MS Office when LibreOffice has the same functionality, although I may have to use MS Office for college? I don't know. Keegan, can you comment? You're in college. Different view, no municipality has business offering of any utility or platform to function in governments, not collecting garbage, providing power to the internet. No, there are a few good ISPs that are run out there by governments. Some of them have been failures. Some of them have been successes. Name of the short story you wrote that you gave away a while back. I was looking for it and couldn't remember the title. It is called Lockdown. I'm actually thinking about releasing it on Amazon as like a 99-cent download because I have zero exposure right now. But if I put it on Amazon as a 99-cent download, then I could run ads on it and get more. You can find it at, let's see, the best place to go, just go to worldwarepress.com and there's a link for it there. It's called Lockdown. Oh, hey, CJ. Q1 Fiend says hi. He's like, I don't care. Okay, that poor chair. Yeah, well, hey. Thou shalt tempt thy kitty. I will eventually. Hello and good morning from India. Where we have the most secure internet. Here, the internet gets blocked at the drop of a hat. You could be tried for treason if you use a VPN. Oh, joy. That's fun. ER last week, police brought in 6 people for being oxygen deprived. 2 masks should be outlawed. Yeah, probably. Germany, we have to wear FFP2 masks in public and in some cities also in cars when you're alone in the car. Yeah. So the government got involved in our rights was 73 Roe versus Wade, and we're still fighting that one, yep. Current main distro DE. Linux Mint Cinnamon for production. I'm running Arch Cinnamon for my media PC. And I use MX Linux for writing. Prosecution rate is normally 2 to 3%, but mind you end up in jail for years or is even a charge sheet. Wow. You might not mind if so basically scaring common citizen for showing dissent. Yeah. Reading the Signal article seems they extracted it with a vulnerability on the phone as well as metadata. So they extracted the data from the phone. The question is, how did they decrypt the messages once they extracted them? That's the question. Here are people behind bars with Alzheimer's because they were a threat to the nation. Well, there's an 80-year-old person with Alzheimer's who's trying to lead the nation right now, so... Let's stop talking about our sexual preferences in the live chat, please, in Discord. I don't care who you like to sleep with. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and have a look at Sillyville next. What do you want, kitty cat? I tell people to stop telling us your sexual preferences in this Discord server, and the kitty starts looking up. Like, what? Someone say sex? Cat? What are you doing? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's go ahead and do this. First up in Sillyville is this overt fascination with celebrities. Apparently, Whoopi Goldberg is one of 25 famous New Yorkers that are now reading PSAs for the MTA. Maybe they should just have the Kingston Trio update the MTA song about wearing masks. I don't know. So apparently they're bringing in all of these famous New Yorkers to read public service announcements to tell everybody to wear masks. Why? Because there's nothing like a little bit of propaganda to get people to change their minds about something that the science can't possibly do. If you haven't noticed, by the way, there is no science. There's exactly one random control study indicating the usefulness and effectiveness of masks that showed an N difference of 8 in a population study of 2,500 per study group. That was out of Holland. There was the other mask study before the COVID era that the control group had fewer infections than the mask group. Now, mind you, the control group, the error in that study is the control group. They didn't have a requirement as to wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Some of them did, some of them did not. The people who had the most infections were the groups in the cloth masks, because you're touching it. You're concentrating stuff in front of your face and then on your hands, and then you're sharing that concentrated germs on all the door handles you're all touching before you put somebody else's germs on your mask on your face. This is why the epidemiological data that we have suggests that every time a mask mandate is put into place, infections go up and not down. Just a thought. So we have to do a little bit of propaganda and get Whoopi Goldberg over here, among others, to start doing PSAs about the MTA. I gotta say, guys, just resurrect the Kingston Trio and have them sing a new version of the MTA that talks about wearing masks or something, because why not? Panasonic made a farting cat robot. Now, I was extraordinarily disappointed because I watched every video connected to this thing, and one time did they show me a video where this stupid thing farts. But nevertheless, we'll go ahead and watch the video anyway.
おはよう。おはよう。おー、偉いね。はじめまして。はい。
Yeah. So it basically, it rocks, it blinks its creepy eyes, and if you get it right, it'll turn around and show you its butt, because, hey, what cat doesn't like showing you its butt from time to time? So there you have it, guys. It cost $360, and they sold out in 6 minutes, and they won't be doing any more. So there you are. You missed your chance of getting the farting cat sock robot thing. Why? 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 Why, God? Why? I don't know. And finally, Citibank has a stupid tax of $500 million. It wasn't just a bad UI. It was a bad UI combined with some Indian contractor. So what happened here is Citibank was trying to make an interest payment of $7.8 million. So basically it had millions of dollars in loans from another group. I mean, just think of that. Citibank needs to borrow millions of dollars. So they meant to make an interest payment, but the UI on the system wasn't clear to the Indian contractor, and he accidentally paid off the loan instead. Whoops. And so the courts actually ruled that despite there being laws in place, including in this city, that said that if you accidentally make an ETF, I think, payment to somebody, if it's made in error, you can rescind that payment. That's in the law. But there is a little exception to the law. And the little exception to the law says that if you don't know the payment is in error, if you received it and you don't know the payment is in error because it's obvious that you should have been making the payment, then they can't get it back. So this is like, this is one of the things that your slimy little debt collectors will do. They'll convince you that, okay, give us electronic access to your bank account and we'll just pull out $300 on the $3,000, and then They pull out $3,000, and then you have no recourse to sue them, even though they took out the wrong amount. So the reason they had to pay this back is because of the law that says if you didn't know it was an error, and since the amount that was paid off was the exact amount that the balance was due, the company looked at this and said, oh, they must have just paid it all back early to avoid paying interest in the future. And the judge looked at this and said, it actually makes sense. Even though they came back the next day and said, hey, this was done in error, they said, yeah, we're not going to give you the money back because it looks as though you were trying to pay it off. And so there was that loophole in the law. And so the judge describes it this way. On FlexCube, the easiest or perhaps only way to execute the transaction, to pay the lenders their share of the principal and interim interest owed as of August 11, 2020, and then to constitute the 2016 term loan with the remaining lenders was to enter the system as if paying off the loan in its entirety, thereby triggering the accrued interest payment to all lenders, but to direct the principal portion of the payment to a wash account with an internal Citibank account to help ensure that the money does not leave the bank. This is what they had to deal with. And I stared at this for a while going, I have no earthly idea what I'm looking at, but presumably you might get trained. But it was an Indian subcontractor under Citibank. Here's a thought for big multi-billion-dollar global national companies. Don't hire an Indian subcontractor to handle contracts of millions and millions of dollars. Duh. So the creditors were delighted. The principal wasn't going to wash. Then when the subcontractor conducted a routine review the next morning, he noticed that there was something drastically off about the previous day's figures. Citibank had actually sent out almost $900 million, not the $7.8 million it was trying to send. They scrambled to get the funds back, notifying each creditor that the principal payments had been made by mistake. Some of the creditors sent the money back, others refused, leaving Citibank out $500 million. Ordinarily, paying back a loan early wouldn't be a big deal since the parties could simply negotiate a new line on similar terms. But in this case, some of the lenders were not on good terms with Revlon and Citibank. Earlier in the year, the pandemic was accelerating. Revlon experienced financial difficulties and sought to borrow more money. To do that, Revlon convinced a majority of its previous creditors to allow transfer of collateral from its old to the new loan. Basically, a bunch of stuff. Here's why it ruled against it. So they argued that they were entitled to get the money back since the cash was sent out by mistake. Ordinarily, the law would be on their side here. Under New York law, someone who sends out money in an erroneous wire transfer, for example, sending a payment to the wrong account, is entitled to get the money back. But the law makes an exception when a debtor accidentally wires money to a creditor. In that case, if the creditor doesn't have prior knowledge that the payment was a mistake, it's free to treat the repayment as a repayment of the loan. Judge Furman ruled that the principle applies here, even though Citibank notified its creditors, of the mistake the very next day. The defendants noticed the amount they received matched the amount Revlon owed down to the penny, making it reasonable for them to assume it was an early repayment of the loan. So there we have it, guys. UI can cost you millions and millions of dollars. Just be aware of that. Although I would wager paying off a loan is probably the better bet anyway. Just a thought. But anyway, Citibank did have to pay a $500 million stupid tax because of hiring an Indian contractor on a bad UI. Let that be a lesson to you. Well, if you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. This actually supports all three of my channels, the Christian channel, the writing channel, and the Linux channel. You can head on over there and join in and help support the channel over there. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video. Alrighty. Biden couldn't find his way of a paper bag, yeah. It's a possibility that the vulnerabilities have been found beforehand that were mostly privileged escalation in theory that they can bypass a screen lock. Well, again, Sebastian, we're talking about two separate things. For the police to get information off of a locked iPhone that had been previously unlocked is a trivial task. The question is, how did you decrypt the signal data? That is what's at heart. It's not getting the data off the phone. That's easy. You can get data off a phone very easily if it's in the APU or AAFU after first use function. That is the easy part. The problem is Signal is supposed to be end-to-end encrypted. Nobody can decrypt that except the user. How did they decrypt the data that they were able to extract from the phone? Two different issues here. And that's what raises questions with Signal. Let's see. Whoopi needs one glued to keep her from scaring people to death. Ooh, Denmark. I think I might have said that wrong. Yeah, that was a Denmark study. Agreement, they aren't that useful. That's not a cat. No, it's not a cat. It's actually a space alien. That's my handler. 1 week of BitTorrent. 1.9 Ubuntu 0.8 Mint 4 Arch Endeavor. Okay. Farting cat robot. Yeah, and you don't even give me pictures of the cat farting. Stupid articles. CJ is infinitely better. Yeah, oof to Citibank. You should see how angry people were against our pandemia scientific manager for saying that people should not use masks because there's no scientific evidence that helps mitigate the disease. Yeah, in fact, back when SARS was going on, 2003, over in Australia, they were fining people $100,000 for selling masks, suggesting they would prevent you from getting SARS. Hello Kitty farts now, that's right. Euro politicians are in cahoots with face diaper manufacturers. I know our local town is. One of our local communist what are they called? Commissioners. The commissioners of our county. He's like, we need public comments. I sent him public comments with actual scientific data referenced in my references. He sent me back a PowerPoint presentation, not written by scientists, written by the president of the Manufacturers Association. I rest my case. Should we use iTunes gift cards? Citibank and a bunch of Indian gift. Nice. MX Linux is a bit more popular than I thought. However, at least the torrent is. Yeah, it's top of distro watch as well. Oh, I know. Biden's 78. I know. He's close to 80. Why do I need a drive cloning backup tool to have anti-malware, antivirus, and video conference protection? So MTA in the screen article, immediately thought of mail servers, MTA, Mail Transit Authority. IT managers, we need more money. Employees like us, we've got it all. Farting cat noises intensify. Oh, boy. Well, let's go ahead and feed the beast, and we'll catch up on the final comments and get out of here a little early. That's sweet. Commissar. Yeah, they're either or. All right, we'll feed the beast. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, beast cat. Oh, boy, beast cat. Be thou tempted with temptation. Oh. All right, the kitty has been tempted. Whole Disney Plus thing keeps getting more and more entertaining. What's going on with Disney Plus now? I'm afraid to click that link. Is that going to take me to a farting cat noise? What do you think, kitty? Are you going to be a farting cat? You going to be a farting cat? He's like, yeah, of course I'm going to be a farting cat. How is the weather in New Delhi opposed to Old Delhi? Oh boy. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap this one up. No video tomorrow. I've been migrating all those servers all week. It started on Monday. I'm almost done. We're getting there. I've gotten a few hours of work done in there too. So next week I will be done migrating servers. I will be so happy. I don't know. Will not know what to do with my day. Let's see. And then talks to himself for an hour, then gets treats. Man, I gotta get a good. Yeah, he's like that cat's man. He's got it figured out. He's got me figured out. That's for sure. All right, guys. Next live stream should be on Wednesday. I'm going to take the yesterday's supporters stream, and we are going to cut it apart. And I think I'm probably going to release that on Tuesdays. I haven't been doing a video on Tuesday, but if I cut those guys out and just kind of release one for the next couple Tuesdays, I have a week's worth of Tuesday videos to do. So there we are. What happened to the cozy blanket? Oh, it's on the bed, actually. I just occasionally bring it in here, but it's actually annoying to have it here. So anyway. Well, guys, we'll see you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful thing. Oh, what servers am I migrating? All of my clients' web hosting servers are on CentOS 6. There's no upgrade path to go up to CentOS 7. And so we're going from CentOS 6 to CentOS 7. So it's fun. I have about 50, 60 client websites over there, and I've been splitting them between a new cPanel. About half of them are going onto a new cPanel, and the other half are actually going on ISP config. So we'll get a little bit more experience with what's going on with ISP config. So that'll be fun. All right, guys, we will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on the flip side.